Welcome back to the Wellness Paradigm Podcast, where we explore what it really takes to feel good in your body, break free from outdated health rules, and rewrite your personal path to wellness. I'm your host, Shannon Salgi, and you're tuning into a special launch series where I've invited 8 incredible guests to answer one powerful question. What's one paradigm shift in your wellness journey that changed everything for you? These conversations are short, real, and just designed to spark something in you, whether you're just starting your health journey or you've been on this path for many years. And today I have Hanisha, who's a naturopathic fertility specialist who supports both men and women with having a healthy baby. And I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being here. And I am really excited to hear what you have to say.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, one big paradigm shift for me, I'm going to start with the first one. I had a few, but the first one was definitely the big one where I was traveling in Guatemala. I worked with this energy healer, and she told me that my throat chakra and my sacral chakra were really blocked. And I had no idea what that meant at that time at all. Right. This was like, I was still in college and I was like, I don't know what she's talking about, but cool. And then she was essentially like, it's really important for you to be so honest and speak your truth and just connect with your body more. And I was like, again, don't really know what that means. But I feel like that was the shift that led me to exploring more natural medicines, healing, modalities and things like that. And that's when I discovered naturopathic medicine. And so that was a big paradigm shift, right? That was like just a mind-opening kind of experience. And then I worked with a naturopathic doctor, and I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's hypothyroidism
Ah,
and PCOS.
ah,
So it was very interesting and really cool to see, like, okay, she said these things energetically and clearly physically they had been manifesting
mm.
for my entire life.
Oh,
And
what?
so, yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
So that was a big shift. And then from there, and so this is really fascinating. So then I went through this journey of naturopathic medicine, changing my diet, lifestyle, supplementation, started meditating, yoga, strength training, doing all the things, right? And then just about 2 years ago, it's so fascinating because this was another shift. This was a really big shift. So I felt like I was doing pretty well. And then I did some plant medicines through a guided
Mm.
experience. And that again, and it's powerful how much like the energetics of things really make a difference. And we don't talk about that enough.
Mm.
But that was really, really powerful because for me, a lot of the energy healers that I had worked with in the past, and like there were three different ones, no kidding, three different ones from all different parts of the world, literally different parts of the world, who all told me that my ancestors were trying to heal through me. And there
Mm.
was something like holding on to me. And I was like, okay, what do I do about it? I was like, the third one, I was like, all right, this must be real. Like the first one, you're like, okay, I don't know. And the second one, you're like, that's interesting. The third one, you're like, all right. I believe it. I'm in. All right, but now what do I do? Right? Like, how do I help them in healing? Or like, can you stop? Can you not? Love y'all, but and so it was through this psilocybin journey that I felt their traumas. I actually did. Like I could feel the traumas and experiences that they had, and I felt the healing of that as well. And then with that, I feel like for the first time in my entire life, this was just like about 2 years ago, right? For the first time in my entire life, I felt true love for myself.
Interesting.
And I've always been a very confident person.
Mhm.
And I've done affirmations since I was 17. Literally since I was 17, I've been doing affirmations, and I do feel like that was a big part of what helped me consciously really be more confident. And then internally, I struggled with that self-love. And I
Mm.
like that was so pivotal. And from there, I learned more of what loving myself really felt like. And from there, I went into like reprogramming work and all of this stuff. And honestly, and then I was able to leave a very toxic relationship,
Mm.
because when you love yourself, you don't deal with that. And I was
Mhm.
able to leave that. And I felt like this just shift within me, and with the reprogramming work and all of that, I realized I went from the managing anxiety that I had been so good at doing through naturopathic medicine, right? To like actually experiencing peace.
Mm. Mm.
So yeah, so that's the big shift. Those are the two big shifts that I would say I've experienced.
Woof. Wow. I like cannot wait to dive more into this. I feel like I'm having her, she will be on a podcast. Stay tuned for a longer episode. I feel like we will have to deep dive into this a little bit more. But I love this, right? There's so much of this energetic. This is what we talk a lot about on this podcast, right? Is there's a very physical component, right? You know, the nutrition, the diet, the movement, the exercise, important. But this energetic component too. So when you said that, you know, Hashis and the PCOS, it's like, whoa, you know, I think people really miss, and that's one thing I want to bring focus to a lot on this podcast is, you know, different avenues, even things that are maybe not talked about as much or maybe a little more taboo, like psilocybin, right?
Mhm.
You know, things that are amazing healing modalities for the right person, right? So
Right. Yes.
I love this. I cannot wait to explore this even more. Definitely stay tuned, guys. If you found this helpful, please go find Hanisha on social media as well as you can let me know that this helped as well. Make sure you stay tuned because we have a lot of incredible, powerful stories coming your way, and we will catch you on the next one. Thank you guys for being here.